Hi, good evening, and welcome to the True Mass Games YouTube channel. My name is Alex, and tonight we are talking in this episode of RPG Snippets about the Amnesia campaign. This is a very special way to start a campaign, which I have done twice so far, every time with quite a bit of success. Now, imagine that you wake up in darkness. There is light far away from you, but surrounding you is only shadow and silence. Your head feels weird, thick and swollen. Your limbs do not move in the way you want them to move. You step up, you stand, you try your voice. That does not sound like the voice you're familiar with. You call out, Where am I? Who's there? You hear noises in the shadow around you. Other people. They sound confused, afraid, and their voices echo back saying, Don't know where we are. I can't remember. How did we get here? Do you know who I am? Who are you? And then it strikes you. You don't know. You don't know where you are. You don't know how you got here. You do not know who you are. There is nothing there in your mind, just a black gaping void waiting to suck you in. And that is the start of the Amnesia campaign. In my own last Amnesia campaign, the player characters awoke on a mountaintop in an old ruin in a cave, surrounded by weird arcane markings, leftovers by some sort of ritual maybe, some sort of arcane procedure, and burned, blackened bodies close by. Amongst them, what looked to be some sort of robe-wearing wizard. From there on, they retraced their own footsteps, and they discovered that they all had within the group a weird mystical connection, that they could speak in each other's minds and hear each other's thoughts, and even, to a lesser extent, experience each other's emotions. Now, who are they? Where does this connection come from? And what's up with these strange powers that bit by bit start rising in their own bodies as they retrace their own footsteps, grasping at what might be people who knew them, or at least people who have met them before? And in that journey, the player characters do not only discover their own past, but also they discover your world, your setting that you have created. This works especially well if your players have not played in this setting, this world before, if you came up with it yourself and they cannot be familiar with it yet. That way they can discover the world alongside their characters. Now, speaking of characters, of course in such a Amnesia campaign, you as the game master would create the characters for your players. However, that doesn't mean they don't have any influence over their characters, over what they play. You can still ask them at the start of the campaign, what kind of character would you like to play? What would you like his skills to be? And what kind of personality do you want to portray in this character? And that way, even though the players cannot experience or cannot influence directly who their characters are, by giving them the skills they want, or telling you what kind of psychological traits they want to have, they're already laying the groundwork, the foundation for their characters' pasts, for their characters' backstories, which you create, and then they, step by step, start discovering. This works especially well, of course, if you know these players very well, if you've played with them a bunch, if you know what they like, what they dislike, if you know what kind of story would appeal to them, and what kind of character would appeal to them. But in the end, of course, it comes down to trust, which role-playing games are always about. If a group does not trust their game master and the game master does not trust the group, things are bound to get tricky. Anyway, take my advice. If you have never tried anything like this before, the Amnesia campaign can be a breath of fresh air. It can prove extremely interesting both to you, the game master, and to your players. Sometimes it doesn't go too well, but that doesn't mean you have to create a campaign that is spanning hundreds and hundreds of hours of gameplay. Sometimes it can be just a few short sessions woven together in a campaign. And then if your players really like it, you can always spin it on and on into a longer, full-out, blown-up campaign, basically. Which is what I'm doing at the moment, to be perfectly honest. Now, I hope this video inspired you to try out an Amnesia campaign for yourself. And let me know how it goes. And let me know if you had already played in something like this, or if you have already game mastered something like this and how that went. As always, if you liked our content, subscribe to our YouTube channel. We will be releasing more videos over the course of the next weeks and months. Until we see each other again, good luck with your own games, stay safe, and I will see you around. Bye bye.